Hello and welcome to MTI Thomas. Today we'll be covering the third lesson in becoming a Plarail master, common switches. Plarail makes a plethora of different track switches, but for this video we will only be covering the most common ones. First up are turnout switches, which typically come in pairs with both gender variants. These pieces are the same length as straight rails and have the same curve radius as a normal curve rail. Many train sets with switches will feature these. Turnout switches are typically used in this fashion to create an inner or outer secondary loop on a circuit, but they can also be used like this to create a larger loop line, or like this to make a passing line, or like this to make a second connected loop. There are so many uses for these simple switches. Next are single to double switches, which also come in pairs like turnout switches. These switches are the same length as straight rails, but don't curve out like turnout switches. Instead, the second line runs parallel to the first, which is perfect for creating sidings and passing lines. Single to double switches are mainly used for connecting double track pieces, which we'll cover in a future episode. Once again, the versatility with these switches is excellent, as you can create many different styles of layout and loop lines using these pieces. Moving on to figure 8 shaped switches, which again come in pairs. These switches are double gendered, as one split side is male and the other female. These switches, as their name suggests, were designed to make figure 8 circuits. By lining both switches up back to back and adding 12 curved rails, you can make a figure 8. Go figure. But these switches can do more than just figure 8s, because adding 2 turnout switches to a figure 8 switch makes a T-switch. The T-switch is a versatile section that allows engines to change direction, and is commonly used to connect turntables and sheds to layouts. Figure 8 switches can also be utilized to add in different styles of loops and passing lines in your layout. The last of the common switches is the Y-shaped switch, which I call the single to wide switch. This switch is similar to the single to double switch, but splits the line with more space between the rails. Y-shaped switches come in the same gender style as figure 8 shaped switches. I find these switches to be a little more awkward for creating loop lines in this style, but they are fun to use when making figure 8 style circuits. What these switches really work for is separating the track to put a destination in the middle, like a station, or separating the track around a bridge pier. A really nice piece and adds nice variety to train sets. Any good train set will have multiple routes for your engines to take. Understanding the different types of switches and the advantages of each switch is just as important for making good Plarail layouts. So now, it's up to you to use this knowledge in enhancing your layouts. Thanks for watching, don't be a stinker, and I'll see you next time.